Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're going to take a look at Warhammer 2021 Games Workshop's The Year in Review.
Hello and welcome to 2021's Year in Review. I'm Peachy.
I'm Wade.
And we're going to be looking at some of the highlights and our favourite releases of this year.
2021 had an awful lot of Warhammer going on. We'll be here for another year if we talk about absolutely everything in detail. So we're going to go through some of our favourites. New codexes, new battle times, new games, new editions of games, all sorts of great stuff. Did you have any favourites this year?
I did, Wade, but more on that later. As is good and proper, Wade, we should start with January. And all shall rot with some Death Guard releases. Ooh, look at
You got green armoured traitor space marines, did you?
Yes.
I have Codex Supplement Dark Angels, completely unrelated.
I was going to say, is that the same difference, right?
That was the joke, you didn't need to say it out loud.
Alright, so two nice codexes. Good stuff for sure. Obviously Dark Angels and Death Guard. Maybe not the best timing for Death Guard, but you know, nice to have both those. So far so good. Let's go January into February.
In February, Kill Team Pariah Nexus. Brand new plastic heavy intercessors. Primaris Captain with bolt rifle, plastic flayed ones. Scenery, all sorts of great new stuff.
It's a great month for me, Wade. Daughters of Canaan and the Spells and a new army book. And of course, my other favourite faction, Slaanesh. We've got Hedonites. We've got all the Hedonites. So many Hedonites. Oh, Blitzbarb Archers. Ooh. And of course, Gluttus Oscullion as well. What a great month.
So excessive. And you had it all finished by the end of February as well, didn't you?
It.
Alright, so February, not so much. The Hedonites, great new models. Definitely awesome to see those. Nice little boost to Sigmar. And obviously some awesome sculpts and everything as well. Pariah Nexus, in my opinion, complete failure. Started off pretty cool. Definitely cool to see plastic flayed ones. And the heavy intercessors were some pretty awesome models as well. But, you know, as everyone knows, Kill Team 2 was right around the corner. So you basically, you know, dumped a mad amount of stock to a bunch of people and then completely redid the game. And as of now, there's still no rules for like indoor combat or anything. So yeah, basically you just massively overpaid for a squad of flayed ones and a squad of heavy intercessors. I do like the Necron terrain that came with the set, but it's not like you can play like full games on it. It's pretty much only good for like inside combat, which as of now there's no rules for it. I'm assuming it will come back to Kill Team eventually, but as far as I'm concerned, that was a complete failure and slap in the face to the community. Shouldn't have released that if you knew that new Kill Team was right around the corner. So,
With the shudders of winter behind us, Wade, we're moving into March, and we saw the Drukhari arrive into real space with Lilith Hesperex. Oh, my favourite character of all time.
If you like pointy ears, then you will love what was released for the Lumineth Realmlords in March as well. Additions to Teclis's armies.
so March was pretty awesome. The Lumineth Realmlords, obviously some nice new models and expansion into the range. Redoing the High Elves after like forever and a day. They obviously got quite a bit this year, and overall, pretty happy with the models. You know, I'm not a huge fan of like the Cow God type deal going on there, but I can understand how some people like it. Definitely an interesting spin on the High Elves. As far as the Drukhari and Lilith Hesperex, whatever her name is, Lilith, awesome model. Nice to see the Drukhari get a boost. They immediately did get nerfed though, so maybe they got a little too much of a boost. But overall, pretty well balanced out now. You know, a couple months later, good month. April was good. I'm sorry, March was good.
In April, Bellicor, the Dark Master himself, returned to bedevil the mortal realms.
Ooh, it was a nice model he was. And heroic quests in the doomed city of Orphancon. Warhammer Quest, City.
I think what that party could have done with is a War Master Iconoclast heavy battle titan to go and kick some sense into Radigan.
So heavy battle titan, sure, that's cool. If there's people out there that play Mechanicus, I'm sure there is. Cool to have that for sure. Bellicor, amazing model, absolutely killed it. Amazing sculpt. I love that he has different options for 40k and fantasy for like base options to have like a dead Space Marine Lieutenant, or not have that for the fantasy setup. Amazing bottle. It did sell out right away, but was pretty well available shortly afterwards. So, we'll give that one a, definitely a positive rating. Curse City, complete failure. Massively sold out right away. Couldn't even get it on the website, even if you showed up and were ready to go right on time. Obviously, they have somewhat redeemed themselves because here we are, the better part of a year later, and we know Curse City is coming back. So, okay, some slight redemption. One of my main issues with the Curse City situation, though, was there was definitely some issue getting them to like regular retail or third-party stores, and then online stores had like, ones where you could actually see how many of the product they had sold or watch their inventory in real time. Certain ones were getting like, 150, 200, 250 sales. Certain ones have been parting out the Curse City set or selling them at like double retail this entire time. So maybe some issues there. I would call that a complete failure, but a little slight touch of redemption. But not to be negative, but I'll believe it when I see it. I can't wait for Curse City to come back out, but let's not get too excited just yet.
Moving into May, Wade, we saw the dead rise yet again with the release of the Soulblight Gravelords. Look at all these characters. So much.
Nice empire you've got there, mate.
Uh-oh.
Shame if someone was to end it. Yeah, Kragnos turned up.
Well, all I need for that is to counteract it with Adeptus Mechanicus. We're going to work out all the facts and figures and destroy you. Pew, 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 pew.
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
So Soulblight Gravelords got some awesome new models, right along in line with the Curse City models. The release of like the skeletons and a bunch of characters, great models, great releases. Kragnos, pretty freaking awesome also. That's like the, obviously he's like a massive Titan Minotaur creature thing. I can't even think of another like Minotaur in the range. There's like some Bulgor type stuff. Definitely overdue for some Minotaur action in Warhammer. So, pretty freaking awesome. Yeah, definitely. And then obviously, anytime you get a new book, always good as well. So, June, good.
In June, we had the new edition of Warhammer Age of Sigmar. The Dominion box brought Thunderstrike Stormcast Eternals and the Kruleboy Gutrippers for the Oracle Warclans.
That is a hefty box, Wade. We also saw some reinforcements for the Adepta Sororitas. I like the Adepta Sororitas, don't know if you can tell, but also my favourite character from the Warhammer 40,000 universe, Ibram Gaunt. Oh, yes.
Alright, so Gaunt and the Ghosts, obviously great to see them come back. Some pretty awesome Adeptus Sororitas models as well. Wasn't the biggest fan of the suits initially, but definitely grew on me, especially after getting my hands on them and picking a couple up. Great releases. Really, the whole range for Adeptus Sororitas, pretty amazing. Now, Dominion was arguably one of the biggest failures of the year. They talked it up, they pitched it, they got excited about it, and it was literally still available until almost the end of the year. And they were selling the narrative like it was going to be gone the day of the release. Get it while you can. And the truth is, it was $200 retail. And by the end of the year, there was a lot of retailers selling Dominion. And still to this day, you can find third-party retailers online and in real life selling Dominion at between $120 and $130. So we're talking about, basically 35 to 40% off of retail, which is pretty much unheard of in the Games Workshop space. So they sold quite a few of them, took forever to sell out, and then retailers basically had to like give them away because we all know that basically these retailers getting roughly 40% discount. So if they're getting a 40% discount and they're selling it at 40% off, they're basically just selling it to get it out of the way because it's taking up space, costing them money, or that's capital they could deploy somewhere else more favorably. So while I do like the Age of Sigmar you know, 3rd edition. I don't know about the rule set and all that. Love the actual box. Love the models in it. Thought they absolutely killed it. The Cruel Boys were amazing. The new Stormcast are absolutely amazing. And, you know, basically the Primaris version of Sigmarines, whatever. I love it. But, man, was that ever a total flop on sale. So, finally cleared out their inventory, which is good. And, of course, now they released the single sprue from the Dominion set for $125 each, one for Stormcast and one for the Cruel Boys. And you can still go online and buy the whole box set for $125. So you can get the other sprue, buy one sprue, get the other sprue, all the other guys that come in the set, and a rule book for free. So probably not going to be selling out too many of those. So that is June in review. Don't mind if I say the wrong month. Also, we know they're going in order, but it psychs me out every time that I stop it and it has the next month on here. So let's keep going with July.
July arrives. It's not only green outside, it's green inside. Wow. What we got, Wade?
Why, to you, PG, it's the Beast Snagga Orks army set. First place to get the new Orks Codex, Zodgrod, Wart Snagga, the Squighog boys, and the Beast Snagga boys themselves.
Well done.
So we could stricken that one from the record. The old Beast Snagga bust. Made for some good videos for me, but let's be real here. It was an absolute fail. Sold out immediately. People or shops that were supposed to get a bunch of copies got half as many as they were supposed to, or none at all. It was a complete nightmare. The community was in uproar about it. You know, by the end of the year, all the models were available separately. The Codex was available, etc. And the truth is, it was a great deal at the time, but the box really didn't even end up being that great of a deal. Like most of those boxes, it was okay, but nothing to write home about. So I think when it was all said and done, you saved about 20% on it. Because the actual Beast Snagga boys, you got 2 boxes of those at $50 a piece. You got the Codex at $50, and then you got a squad of the Squighog boys, which are I want to say $50 as well. And then you got the Zagrog Wart Snagga. So when we total that all up, it comes out to about $235, and then you get the cards as well for another like 15 or 20. So about $250, maybe 20-25% off, and a little early access to the Codex. So it was good, but overall the backlash was absolutely horrendous on that one. And I would say that even though it was still a good deal and the demand was great on it, that was the first fail of the exclusive box sets, and definitely hopefully an eye-opener for Games Workshop about the whole like pay for the early Codex like access deal. So let's keep going with August.
In August, there were codexes for fans of psychic powers in Warhammer 40,000, Codex Grey Knights for the Imperium, and Codex Thousand Sons.
Also, we saw Kill Team Octarius. It's got plastic Deathcore Krieg, my favourites.
Plastic Orc Commandos, my favourites. We also saw the launch of Warhammer Plus, the new streaming service with Lore Masters, Citadel Colour Masterclass, Battle Report, and Warhammer animations.
So Grey Knight Codex, awesome. Thousand Sun Codex, awesome as well. Neither one of them had to get like some crazy nerf. The Grey Knight's been doing pretty good competitively overall, so I'd have to say that that was a success on their part, and nice to see them cranking out those books and not having to like completely invalidate them as soon as they come out. As far as Warhammer Plus, quite possibly their biggest failure. They hyped it up massively. Basically, like came out and it had limited to no content available. Hyped up the limited exclusive miniatures you're going to get with it a year from then. Ended up having to give out like vouchers basically to get people to sub to it. Offered none of the benefits that people asked for, like online rule sets. Just total failure. I never even got it, and you know, one could argue that I'm a Games Workshop fanboy. I would have definitely gotten it if it felt like there was any value to it, or it didn't get absolutely horrendous reviews. Since then, I've seen countless videos of people canceling their memberships, unsubscribing, and just how continually terrible it is. And the best part is, you know, one day down the line, once it's fully established and everything, you can just subscribe and pay for the service again and get access to all the videos and everything. From what I've heard from everyone, maybe just get a month of it, watch all the content over a long weekend, and then bye Felicia until we meet again. And then finally, Kill Team Octarius, absolutely phenomenal. Great models. The commandos were just absolutely sick. The Deathcore of Krieg, absolutely sick, and long awaited plastic models for both those. The new Orc terrain was awesome as well. I love some Xenos terrain and something new and fresh. And then the new Kill Team, arguably there's a couple tweaks that needed to be made and may still. The bespoke teams are a little powerful. The Custodes, Talons of the Emperor, required a nerf because they were just too good. But the new edition is absolutely phenomenal. The rules are sick. The balance is better than it's ever been. And I got to really give it to them on this Kill Team. They definitely nailed it. So awesome to see that come out. And yeah, looking forward to the future releases as well. So into September.
Coming into September, Wade, we got some more releases for Age of Sigmar. Stormcast Eternals, they got a Battle Tome, as well as a Stormstrike Chariot, Night Judicator, and of course, if you like scenery, like me, a Nexus Siphon.
I'd rather knock your Nexus Siphon down. We have the new Battle Tome for the Auric War Clans, and they got some great new kits as well, including the Marsh Crawler Sloggoth and the Breaker Boss.
So Stormcast and the Kruleboy Battle Tomes, great to have them out as well. A bunch of new models for both ranges, also phenomenal models. And then a nice little scenery piece that was initially only available in the big starter set. Definitely great. All those models are great. I'm assuming the Battle Tomes are pretty good. I do not actually play or have not actually played the new edition of Sigmar. But model-wise, and always good to see some factions get their books. And I do love me some scenery. So good month, good month. On to October.
October saw boxed sets galore. The new edition of Warhammer Underworlds, Harrow Deep, featuring Xandar's Truthseekers and Durkanan crew.
Oh, nice. We also got Black Templars army set. Some beautiful artwork on it.
Takes me back. And for Aeronautica Imperialis, the Wrath of Angels set, featuring the Adeptus Astartes and Eldari.
So Harrow Deep, another flop. It's supposed to be like they're onboarding new people into the game part of it, and they jacked the price up substantially. You barely get any models in it, and there was just massive amount of kickback from the community. A lot of people who pretty much buy anything Underworlds related. It was a hard pass on that one. I passed on it myself. Just did not see the value there. So it was unfortunate to see them go that route, but only overshadowed by the complete failure of the Black Templars. The 13 model limited edition box set, not only was it a complete flop and didn't even come close to selling out, but on top of that, almost immediately afterwards, everything was available in the online store. And then they came out with their like the new Start Collecting, whatever it is, the equivalent of Start Collecting, and it was an even better deal. So not only did you almost immediately get access to the rules and the new models, but the box that came out, the skirmish box, was a better deal as well. So complete failure. Still available in the store now. Just total flop. You cannot sell people 13 models for $200 and expect them to be happy about it. And if you are going to do that, at least wait a few months before you release the codex and cards. That aside, though, the models are absolutely phenomenal. The new models are great. The Primaris Scouts and potential for them to show up in the future looks pretty promising now, and models are awesome. The Emperor's Champion model was sick. The new High Marshal, and then obviously all the Black Templars that have come since were absolutely phenomenal as well. So love the range, love the new box, but the limited box was a total fail. And again, if you're going to make people pay for benefits in advance, at least give them a couple months to enjoy those benefits before you drop the bomb on everybody else. So just total failure on that one. And then you know, the Aeronautica Imperialis. I mean, it was cool to see that come out, and they had, you know, plastic Thunderhawks for it as well. But again, I'm just not really sure how many people even play Titanicus or Aeronautica Imperialis. Um, I don't know anyone that plays them. I've literally never seen anyone playing them at our local game store. I don't know how much of a following there is for anything like that. So I don't know. I think they would have much better chance of bringing back like full size Warhammer 40k Epic, but with like your actual regular models. So I don't know, but overall, pretty weak month.
Moving into November, Wade, another good month for box sets. We've got Kill Team Chalnath with my absolute favourites in Adeptus, Sororitas, Novitiates.
They're all your favourites, Peachy. What did you think about Warcry Red Harvest?
They've also my favourites in there too.
So this one is debatable. I thought Chalnath and Red Harvest were phenomenal. I thought they were great. Both box sets are awesome. Loaded up with 2 new teams, kill teams or warbands respectively. I love the Novitiates. The Pathfinders, not all new models, but you know, new upgrade sprue. And the new kill teams you can build from those are just absolutely amazing. People were mad about the price point on it. I didn't think that Chalnath was that bad. I kind of expected it with the price raises and everything. There wasn't as much value as the Kill Team starter set, and you do still need like the original book and stuff to play. But again, I thought it was still a great deal. I love the models. And then it was the re-release of the terrain that was otherwise unavailable, and it's the exact same terrain that came in the previous iteration of Kill Team. Everybody loved the terrain in that set, but for some reason people were bummed out in this set. So I don't know if it was just a year of you know, just basically like stank and people were just salty by the time this came out, but I thought they killed it. I love the Novitiates. I love all the Sisters range. The Pathfinder upgrade sprue, while it would have been nice to see a complete new Pathfinder set, you guys see I painted up some Pathfinders myself with the new sprue, upgrade, everything, and they're absolutely phenomenal. They're also, both those bespoke kill teams are good, competitive, and fun, and I love that terrain. So overall, I think Chalnath was a total success and killer. It's awesome that it's still available as well for anybody that didn't get a copy of it. And then as far as Warcry Red Harvest, again, I thought they absolutely nailed it. You know, right around the same price as Catacombs, and arguably a better deal. Catacombs didn't have quite as much terrain in it. It was a full-on... It basically had like the full-on starter book and then a Catacombs book as well. This book in the Red Harvest combined the 2 books together. So the starter rules and everything are combined with the Red Harvest books. Rules rather. 2 brand new warbands, which is awesome. Both of which are super cool and amazing models. The terrain is abundant and super unique. We've never seen anything like that before. It was like the perfect blend of the Sigmar ruins from the previous boxes, and then also like the chaotic touch on them. Absolutely phenomenal. Came with some even better dice than previously. They brought back the cards, which I love the cards. I'm really glad they did that. Overall, I thought they killed it. Price wise, $210 for the starter set, you know, as opposed to the Kill Team starter $200, the 40k and Sigmar starter $170. So arguably a little more on the expensive side, but I think I was I was expecting it. I expected it to be the same amount as Catacombs, and I thought it was a better deal. I really liked the Catacombs, so for me, this was an absolute killer month. Probably the best month of the year. And then wrapping it up with December.
And in December, more great big boxes. The new edition of Dungeon Bowl, the game of subterranean Blood Bowl mayhem.
From the deepest, darkest dungeon to the skies come the Draconifs, Corundis, and Stormdrake Guard, as well as Battletome Magakin. Don't have enough hands for those.
Well, if you need more hands, Peachy, maybe talk to your new favourite model, the Reductus Saboteur of the Genestealer cults, who is in the Shadow Throne battle box, along with the new Adeptus Custodes Blade Champion.
So Dungeon Bowl, I thought it was overpriced. I did not pick it up, so I can't give you an honest review on that one. But I had a feeling that it was going to come out and be slightly overpriced, so that was a pass for me. So I would say that's, you know, a fail, because I definitely would have bought it if I thought it was a better value or a better price. As far as the dragons, the big boy, absolutely phenomenal. I love that there was 2 ways to build him, as like the scarred or the regular dragon. There was a little bit of a flop with some miscast parts in there. Mine was not miscast, came out perfect. Everything good to go, so that is nice. And I will do a video on how to magnetize the different options on that dragon as well, as soon as I get to it, and painting as well. Definitely cool model. Again, the Stormgate Guard were a pass for me. Still kind of mixed on those. I really like them, but I felt like the price point was too much. For 2 skinny little sprues, $125 was just not worth it. If they would have been, if you would have the option to remove the riders and the harnesses and just use them as like 2 young dragons, I would have probably still picked them up, even overpriced. But for $125, with no way to build them without like riders or harnesses, it was a pass for me. I still really like the models, but the price was just way too high in my opinion. Still look great. Maybe I'll end up with them one day, but I just can't justify that, to tell you the truth. So great models, but again, just complete miss on the price. Same with Dungeon Bowl. And then Shadow Throne. This was another one where I got a lot of pushback. People were not too excited about it. I thought it was pretty awesome. I really like the Reductus Saboteur. I really like the Blade Champion. I think it was I don't want to say it's a great value, but definitely a good value. $170, and then you can pretty well get it like 15 to 20% off. I thought it was pretty good. It came with the Sisters of Silence and Terminator box. Arguably, I would have liked to have rather seen like just the regular Custodes box and the Sisters of Silence with the Blade Champion. But that alone, is $135 in value. $50, $50, and $35. So that's pretty much the whole box paid for. And then for Genestealer Cult, you got the Adeptus Saboteur, you got the Brood Coven, which is like a bunch of characters, and then just a squad of their regular bros. So that's $60, like 40 or 45, and then like 35 for the character. So again, like $135. So right around like $270 worth of value for $170. Less a little discount action. I thought it was great. 2 new models, a bunch of awesome older models. I thought it was a good value. I understand not everybody agrees on that one. If you were never going to buy Terminators or Sisters of Silence, I could understand how it's like a paywall to get the Blade Champion or whatever. If you don't know anybody that plays Genestealer Cult, again, it might be hard to like split with somebody just because they've been pretty bad for a while. But I'm pretty confident if you picked up that box set right now, and then you just waited for the new codexes to come out, that you could probably find somebody to take the Custodes or Genestealer Cult off your hand for a pretty reasonable price. So I thought they did pretty good overall. One thing I think would have really made that set better, if they would have done a regular Custodian Guard squad instead of the Terminators. I think they could have hit another market completely, Kill Team market. Because for Kill Team, one of the things about the Custodes is you can run either 5 Custodes or you can run 2 Custodes and 5 Sisters of Silence. So if that box set came with a box of 5 Custodes, the Blade Champion, and a box of Sisters of Silence instead of the Terminators for the regular Custodes, that would have been a pretty good marketing point. Because normally you'd have to go out and spend $100 just to get a squad of Custodes and a squad of the Sisters. So for a box like that at $170 to get a Blade Champion and a bunch of Genestealer Cult that you could either build or offload, I think it could have really appealed to the Kill Team community. But no real appeal with what came in that box set. So that was a missed opportunity in my opinion there. And for the value, it would have been the same. It wouldn't cost them anything, and I think it would have overall made the box set better. Good box set. I can understand where the community wasn't too happy about it. The forces definitely are not like evenly matched, but there's also like cool missions in there and cool theme to it, where basically like you get to like recycle the Genestealer Cult models. So as they like die off, they keep like popping back up. So the game might not seem balanced right off the bat when you look at the points values or like what you get in there. And maybe in just a regular old game of 40k it wasn't, but with like the themed missions and everything in the book, it actually was pretty cool. So overall, that's another one where I don't necessarily agree with the community, but I think a lot of the pushback towards the end of the year with Chalnath, with Red Harvest, which wasn't as bad, and then of course with the dragons, and finally with Shadow Throne. I think a lot of that was just a year of built up anger, a little bit of stank on everything, and people were just kind of salty by the end of the year with the release schedule, with the pricing, etc. So, man, I don't even know. The fact that they have to turn off comments on all their videos really says something about the way the community feels about them, or how they're handling like the social media aspect of it. But it is what it is. So here's our year in review wrap up.
Well, that was a fantastic look back at 2021, which was a superb year for Warhammer. Thanks for that, PG. Did you have any favourites?
Yeah, Adeptus, Sororitas, and Novitiates. What about you, Wade?
Anything orky, I think, but most of the stuff on this side of the table, as it happened.
Yeah. Well, like we said, a great year. Can't wait for 2022. So I hope you all have a happy new year. Bye-bye.
So overall, tons of awesome new books, tons of awesome new models, a couple of full-on like game releases, expansions, etc. I thought they killed it overall. Quite a few hiccups along the way, or growing pains, whatever you want to call them. Not surprising, as there was a ton of growth. There was a crazy situation going on worldwide with supply chain and all the other stuff going on. That we don't need to get into, but the truth is, if I think the biggest thing for me is if you took price and made that not a thing at all, and whatever people thought was a reasonable price, everything was just priced at that, I don't think anyone would really be upset about anything other than the issues with Beast Snagga boys initially, and the issues with the Warhammer Quest. I think that was like the two biggest issues, because it was like availability. Oh, and I take it back. Also, Kill Team. I thought they really dropped the ball on Pariah Nexus. I thought it was cool. Definitely got excited for it. Did like some custom terrain, painted up all the guys, got excited to play, and then of course it was all just nope, no longer valid. New edition of Kill Team on the way, and it wasn't even like it came out the next day. It came out a couple months later, but they were already like previewing it right away. So it was like, oh, let me just scrap this project that I just spent a bunch of time working on, because it's not going to matter in a couple weeks, and no one's going to care, and no one's going to play it. So overall, take price out of the equation, and I think a lot of the issues go away. So the truth is, there was supply chain issues, there was inflation going on, there was a bunch of other stuff going on as well, maybe putting people in a worse mood, or making them antisocial, or driving them towards the internet, which is like a plague of negativity. So I would have to say that pretty freaking good year. Compared to years ago, obviously Games Workshop has grown, the hobby has grown. Look, back in the day, we would be lucky if we got a couple kits in a year, or a book or two. So the fact that there was just all this stuff, and there's so much more they didn't talk about, so many new models, so many new rules, new core games, I thought they absolutely killed it. So definitely got to work on their image a little bit. Definitely got to start listening to the community a little bit more. But I think if we give them a little time and see how this next one goes, I think we should start to see things turn around. So hopefully they listen, hopefully they hear us, and hopefully things get under control. But here's to 2022. That was our 2021, the year in review. Yeah, that's it. So if you like the content today, if you enjoyed it, if you have any comments, I'm curious about your opinion about all the things we talked about, the value, the box sets, the models, the rules, etc. All the rules mistakes, I thought they corrected pretty well, pretty quickly. All the models are either available now, or as far as Curse City, will be available soon. And pricing wise, if that was your biggest qualm, then maybe we just got to buy a little bit less. But overall, you get what you paid for. Top quality miniatures, mostly top quality games, and yeah, I'd say I was pretty happy with it. So let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think the biggest success was, your favorite models, favorite book, etc. Let me know what you think the biggest failure was as far as availability or pricing, etc. And if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe. Warhammer Man, this is Warhammer Man Studios, a 2021 year in review, and I'm out of here.